Hello, my little subjects. My name's King Wolfowl. That's Reginald, the Royal Crown Bearer, and we're here to predict WrestleMania. Oh, there's a lot to get through. I'm going to do all of the WrestleMania matches because some of these, I'm using Wikipedia, and as of right now, which is Wednesday the 29th, with only 3 days until night one of WrestleMania, they haven't confirmed what matches are on what night. A bunch have been confirmed for night one, but not everything has been confirmed for night two. There's also matches that I think are happening that aren't on this list. But I'm going to go off this list and we're going to do our predictions, and then I'll do reactions when I can. So, we're going to go off of this list. So these are the ones that are listed for night one. It's going to open with Austin Theory versus John Cena, which I do think they announced on the show that was going to open WrestleMania for the US Championship. They usually like to open Mania with a big feel-good victory for a face. However, I don't see John Cena winning the US title unless he's going to, like, lose it to, like, a debuting Braun Breaker or Grayson Waller the next night on... Well, not the next night, but Monday on Raw. I don't see Cena holding the belt. I see Austin Theory hopefully winning, and I honestly... This is what I've been pitching to one of the guys at work. I want Austin Theory to... because I really don't like A-Town Down. It's a bad finishing move. And I don't see him hitting Ataxia on a lot of these bigger guys. Although John Cena taking Ataxia would be insane. I want Austin Theory to start using the AA. I want Austin Theory to hit the AA on Cena and pin him with the AA and just start using it. And start, like, bragging that he's using Cena's finishing move. That's what I want. I want him... I think some of these old legacy finishers, like the AA, the Pedigree, eventually Jericho's going to retire, so the Walls of Jericho, Codebreaker, like these, I want these to be passed on to people, and I think the Austin Theory using the AA is like a perfect person to pass that to. Like, it would be great. Mostly because the A-Town Down's a bad finishing move, and I would love for him to start using the AA, and if he does start using the AA, don't let anyone kick out of it for a long time. You should maybe even win a world title with it before someone kicks out of it, or it gets into the world title match, and that's where it goes. We'll see. Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. This sadly could be match of the weekend. I hope Seth Rollins wins, unless Logan's going to be sticking around for a while this time. If Logan's going to stick around for a while this time, then have Logan win. Maybe he can fight for a mid-card belt, or he could do something more important than just showing up every once in a while. But I don't see Logan sticking around, so I'm going to predict Seth Rollins, mostly because Seth hasn't gotten a fun WrestleMania win in a little while, and actually he loses on pay-per-view quite a lot nowadays. So I would like to see Seth Rollins take the win here. Trish, Lita, and Becky versus Damage Control. I'm going with Damage Control. You would think that you would put your tag champions over on the night, even if they aren't on the line. But one, it not being on the line makes me feel like Damage Control can win without doing too much damage to the champions. Two, there's been a lot of rumor and speculation that Trish Stratus is gonna turn on Lita and Becky, so that we can get Trish versus Becky at, like, SummerSlam. Probably even sooner than that, because I don't know how much Trish is going to want to stick around, or how long she's going to be sticking around. Same with Lita. So I taking Damage Control, and then you can have Io and Dakota take the tag belts back on Raw, and then you can have Becky and Trish go do their thing. So I think Damage Control is winning with an assist from Trish. Brock Lesnar versus Omos. Please, for the love of God, let this be the best match of the weekend. I'm unsure, because on one hand, it's Brock Lesnar, right? You never count Brock Lesnar out, but also it's Omos, who you should count out, because Omos, I don't think he's had I don't know if he's had a proper match since he re-debuted. I think all his matches have been squash matches, right? I can't recall a single match that was, like, against, I think he fought, like, Mustafa Ali, but it was still a squash. Like, I don't think he's had a match since he got re-debuted. Not even re-debuted. Because he was tagging with AJ, and then he went away for a little while after they lost the belts. And then he had a bunch of really bad matches. Yeah, since he aligned with MVP. So when he's aligned with MVP, no, that's a lie because he faced Lashley. He's faced Lashley, but he doesn't wrestle all that often, and it's never great. So I'm hoping Lesnar just kills him. Sorry, I'm going with Lesnar. Also because Lesnar's kind of lost some of his shine. He hasn't gotten any good wins recently. So beating Omos, even though Omos isn't the most established megastar in the planet, will help rebuild Lesnar's image a little bit. Next up, Bianca versus Asuka. I'm going with Asuka with her new gimmick change, debuting at the Rumble, and just her momentum right now. It'd be silly not to. Also, Bianca's been holding that belt for a long time, and I think this WrestleMania feels like a perfect chance to start resetting some stuff. Change a bunch of champions, and then go into the next few months, separate the world titles, separate the tag belts, and just this is a starting point for a new era of... Like, this is the proper reset point for Triple H's era of wrestling. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think going into the next... I guess technically the wrestling calendar year would be from WrestleMania to WrestleMania. Starting this new season, if you will, of wrestling with Asuka as champion will be fun. And you could realistically, if you wanted to, turn Bianca heel. If you wanted to have them keep feuding and have another match for the belt. It's been a while since Bianca's been a heel, and I would honestly interested to see what she could do as a heel now that she's established herself as such a like I've worked hard for everything I have type of face. Like, she's such a good face, and I would like to see how she is as a heel because of how good she's gotten as a face. That's just personal opinion. And then Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley, which I believe currently is the planned main event for night one. It should be the tag title match, but it's the planned, I guess it's the planned main event for night one. And that's nothing against Charlotte or Rhea Ripley. Charlotte's one of the most decorated women's champions of all time. Rhea Ripley is currently one of, if not the best female, one of, if not the most popular women's wrestler on the roster. That it is a main event caliber match. This is also their second time meeting at WrestleMania, with the first time Charlotte taking the NXT title off of Rhea. So I'm going with Rhea. I'm hoping Rhea gets the win back again with the whole you can reset here and start this as your new era with new champions going in. Well, new-ish because I've Theory retaining, but you get it. You get the idea. I think Rhea winning's the right choice. But at the same time, nothing against these two competitors. The tag match should be main eventing night one. If it's not main eventing night one, it should be opening night two. Yeah, that's just... We'll get more to it when we get to the match. So the only confirmed match for night two is Roman versus Cody. So but we're gonna do that. We're gonna talk about that one last. So this says to be TBC. I would assume that's supposed to be TBD, to be determined, but it says TBC. I don't know what C stands for in that anagram. Is that even an anagram? I'm rambling. Don't worry about it. Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. Triple threat for the IC Championship. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be 3 people trying to kill each other, which will be dope. I'm praying that Sheamus wins. So Sheamus needs an IC title to be Grand Slam champion, and also be the second ever person to be Grand Slam champion and also win Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble, and King of the Ring. The only person who has done Grand Slam and done Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble, and King of the Ring is Edge. So Sheamus could be in a very tiny elite group of people who have won literally everything available to them. I think the only thing Sheamus hasn't won that has been available to him throughout his career is the ECW Championship. That's insane to think about. He's won... I mean, technically, he never won the World or WWE Tag Team Championships, but he won when they got unified, so he technically those belts both. He's held the Raw and SmackDown and Undisputed Tag titles, the original tag titles, which were technically the WWE tag titles. The tag title lineage is weird. The world title lineage ended when they got unified with the WWE tag titles. the blue like open book design, and then those tag titles continued the lineage to the current Raw tag titles, and then the SmackDown tag titles are separate, but now they're combined, so it's the undisputed tag titles again. Tag title lineage is weird. But anyway, that has nothing to do with the fact that Sheamus is one of the most decorated champions of all time in WWE, and he's just missing that one thing, the IC title. And if you open either of the cards with this match, which you would have to open night 2 because night 1's Theory versus Cena. If you open night 2 with this match and Sheamus wins, you will set the tone for the entire second show, and people will be hyped. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great match regardless of where it's at in the card. There's actually a lot of matches you can make a strong case for being main event on night 1 or opener on either night. Like, it's insane how good the match card is this year. But Sheamus for the win. Edge versus the Demon. Finn Balor recently confirmed that the Demon will be making an appearance. It's Hell in a Cell. There are reports saying that it's the regular cell and not the big stupid red one, which is dope. Finally getting a normal cell back, and hopefully someone in the interwebs can figure out how to make that happen in 2K23. I don't know. Can you might be able to, now that I think about it, you might be able to make a custom match and use the regular cell. But probably not. I don't know. I should look into that. This is actually a really hard one for me to predict. I want Edge to win, but I think Finn needs the win more. I think Judgment Day needs the win a lot more than Edge does. So I'm going to go with Finn because I think I'm going to go with Judgment Day winning all their matches at Mania, and then go into the Raw after Mania. You could have a certain Jay White debut and try and take over. That's just personal preference. I'm a huge Jay White fan. He's one of my favorite guys outside of WWE, and just the thought of him coming in and immediately feuding with Finn sounds insane to me, and I want that really bad. But I think if Finn loses, it would give more credence to Jay White coming in and being like, you're too soft, you're the only one who lost at Mania, so I'm going to take your spot. We're going to kick you out of Judgment Day. Ooh, I'm still going to go with Finn because he's Demon. Demon Finn beats regular Edge. In my head, that math, so the math is correct there. I wouldn't be surprised if Edge wins, but I'm going to go with Finn because I think Finn needs the win more, and Edge could go into a story where he's upset that he's lost like a handful, like all his big feuds since he's come back, and is ready to retire again, and then he has one last big feud with somebody, and can go on and just do his thing. I could see him winning, but I'm going to go with Finn for this one. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalya and Shotzi versus Ronda and Shayna versus Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. Women's WrestleMania Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. I don't know why they're doing these showcase matches, and maybe just to get more people on the card since they're not doing the Battle Royals. They're doing the Battle Royals on SmackDown, because why not? So this Fatal 4-Way Tag match, I would hope that the winners of this get a shot at the tag titles, and in that case, we're going Ronda and Baszler. I think I'm going Ronda and Baszler regardless of if there's a tag title shot on the line or not. Mostly because they are, the most legit team in this group. I was really looking forward to Chelsea Green and Carmella, and then Carmella went away for some reason. I don't know the backstage reasons for Carmella disappearing. But Chelsea Green and Carmella would have been a great team to add to the tag division. I think if this is going to end up with a tag title match, Ronda and Shayna is the best choice. I would love to see them hold the tag belts for a little while, and then eventually Baszler turn on Ronda, and then Baszler can go on to be a top contender for one of the two belts. If we could have Baszler versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship, that'd be fun. So we're going Ronda and Baszler for the Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag match. The Men's Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag match, you got Braun and Ricochet, which is a surprisingly entertaining team. The Street Profits, it says Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford. So I skipped to the next line to read the next team, and then it was Montez Ford's name. Alpha Academy, Viking Raiders. This is a little more hard to predict. Excuse me. I don't think Alpha Academy is going to win because they're teasing them breaking up anyway with Otis joining the Maximum Male Models, which is, I love that. I'm going to go with Braun and Ricochet just because they're the only like thrown together team in this match. I would love for Street Profits to get their Mania moment. Alpha Academy probably won't because they're breaking up soon. Viking Raiders are just they kind of came back and they're just kind of here now. I think Braun and Ricochet have had a lot of momentum behind them recently, so seeing them win, highly likely. The tag team title match, which should absolutely be main eventing night 1. Sammy and Kevin versus the Usos. Sammy and Kevin, obviously, it's who I'm going with. I'd be surprised if any of the Bloodline walked out with belts at Mania, but we'll see. We'll see how it is. We'll see how it goes. I see Sammy and Kevin winning, and then they'll separate the tag belts, and then someone else can, like, they'll stay on one show, and someone else can take the belts on the other show. But, yeah, I'm actually genuinely upset that this isn't main eventing night 1. It should be main eventing night 1. It still might. I've been saying for a long time that the Sammy and Jimmy Uso story, or not Jimmy, Jey Uso, sorry. The Sami Zayn and Jey Uso story has been the most important part of the Bloodline feud. Has been absolutely the most important part, which is insane because the other part of this story is Roman has been champion for 3 years straight. It's crazy to me that this wasn't immediately like, yeah, main event night 1. It's not, like, this is going to be in the middle of one of the 2 nights, and it's going to be annoying, right? Because the match itself is going to take all the energy out of the crowd. I would absolutely open night 2 with this if you're not going to make it main event night 1. Because it's going to be high energy, an insane match. Also, the idea of Kevin and Sammy going on to feud with some of the tag teams WWE has right now sounds awesome. Dude, there's talks of DIY coming back, and if we can get El Generico and Kevin Steen versus DIY, it's going to be an insane match. There's also rumors of FTR wanting to come back, and if FTR does come back versus Sammy and Kevin, yo, the tag division's going to be just going to explode with these guys as tag champs. Also, you're ending one of the most prolific stories in WWE history. I know that's a big thing to say, but it's true. The whole shebang of Jey Uso and the Bloodline and Sami Zayn ends here. It ends at Mania, or it should end at Mania. And it really should be main eventing night 1 with Roman and Cody main eventing night 2. I don't understand WWE's idea of not making it the main event night 1. But hey, I'm not the boss. So yeah. I forgot to open. I just now realized my backlight wasn't on. Oops. I could talk about that for days at a time, so we're gonna move on. Ray versus Dominic. Dominic absolutely should win. I'm really hoping Dominic comes out to like Eddie Guerrero's music, riding a lowrider. I think Vicky's still technically tied down with AEW, but Chavo definitely isn't. I would love to see the Guerreros in his corner if they can be. If you can get Chavo and Vicky to come out with Dominic, I absolutely would do that if you can get it done. I don't know if contract situations, if they can or can't. I really think Dominic should win this match, and then Ray... Maybe they can set something up at the Hall of Fame where Dominic says if he beats Ray, then Ray has to retire. But I think Dominic should have the opportunity to be the one to retire Ray. And if you're going to do that, why not do it at WrestleMania? And you're having the match this year. It would make no sense to do it this year and do the retirement match next year against Dom. You could also have Ray eventually go down and retire against someone like Santos Escobar or Dragon Lee and kind of passing the torch to your next like big luchador. However, I think Dominic should win here, continue the momentum of Judgment Day. Like I said, you could either have all the Judgment Day people win their matches, or you can have just Finn lose, and that gives a good excuse for Jay White to come in and take over Judgment Day, or come in and join Judgment Day and just have a big old faction of people. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Dominic for the win. I think if Ray wins, it kind of halts all momentum Dominic's been building. Dominic just keeps getting better and better on the mic and in his own character. If he can work on his in-ring skills enough to get like as good as his dad, if not better, then he could be a top guy. It's insane to see how much he's grown over this past, like, since he joined the Judgment Day, how much better he's gotten at his character work and his promos. So I think Dominic's the right choice. So the only confirmed Night 2 match, the main event. Before we get to that, we're going to make a wild prediction as to what the heck Bobby Lashley's going to be doing at Mania. Because he's in the Battle Royale on SmackDown, so he's absolutely going to win the Andre the Giant on SmackDown, right? So he's going to probably come out at Mania and be like, I need to fight somebody because I was supposed to fight Bray Wyatt, and Bray Wyatt got sick. So, there's rumors that Matt Cardona is going to show up and just get jobbed out. This sucks, because I was looking forward to Bray versus Bobby. It wasn't my first choice of what either of them would be doing. I was thinking we were going to do Lashley Lesnar again, and then we would have Bray versus somebody. Oh, you know what? LA Knight. Bobby Lashley's going to kick the heck out of LA Knight. That's what's going to happen. LA Knight's going to come out. Miz is hosting Mania, so he's going to come out and be like, I should be hosting WrestleMania. Yeah! And then Miz is going to put him in a match against Bobby Lashley, and Bobby Lashley's going to kill him. And then after Mania, you're going to put the Money in the Bank briefcase on LA Knight, and LA Knight's going to take the world title off of Cody Rhodes. Spoiler for my final prediction. Put the Money in the Bank on LA Knight and watch him be your top heel on either show for a while. Just do it, you cowards. Anyway, prediction for Bobby's Mania moment is he's going to beat up LA Knight. Night 2, Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman versus Cody Rhodes, singles match for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, the Uwu itself. Cody Rhodes has to win this. If you don't have Cody win, who else on the roster is left? You've beaten everybody. You've beaten Sammy. You've beaten Kevin. You beat Drew. I'm pretty sure he had a match against Sheamus. I mean, you could turn Gunther face and have him fight Gunther, but I don't see that happen. You've beaten Lesnar. You've beaten Logan Paul. You've beaten, actually, he hasn't beaten Seth Rollins. Technically, he got DQ'd. But I don't think, like, personally, I don't want to see Seth be the one to dethrone him. That feels like you have this momentously long run, 3 years in the making. You have this huge storyline. You have this built-in person. Like, Cody Rhodes feels like the perfect person to take the belt off of him. That will, one, actually benefit and become a bona fide main event star by winning the belt. Two, will actually have storyline reasons for winning the belt, because it's the whole, like, this is the belt Dusty couldn't win thing. Which a lot of people aren't fond of him bringing up Dusty all the time. And he himself has said in interviews that he would rather not bring him up every single time he's out there, but it just happens from other people bringing him up against him, or him just, it's just kind of ingrained in who he is as a wrestler. It kind of happens when your dad's one of the most legendary wrestlers of all time. I think it's, like, I might be biased, so a little bit of history on wrestling from me, the King Wolfowl. I started watching wrestling around 2006, 2007. I actually have been rewatching old wrestling recently, and recently rewatched Cody Rhodes' debut. And when Cody came in, he would debut as Dusty Rhodes, and I was a fan of Dusty Rhodes. Even growing up as a kid, anytime he was on TV, I was like, that guy's cool. And then he started tag teaming with Hardcore Holly, and I was a big Hardcore Holly guy when I was a kid. I don't remember why. Probably because I like to play him in the video games, because I like the Alabama Slam. So he started teaming with Hardcore Holly, and then when he turned on Hardcore Holly as a kid, when I was a kid, it was one of the first times I ever felt genuinely angry at a professional wrestler. Like, how could you turn on Hardcore Holly? And I was like a huge because this is before I fully understood kayfabe. I was like, I hate you, Cody Rhodes. And then he eventually turned face again. And I was like, I love you, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is one of those guys who was very prominent when I started watching wrestling. Like, I'm very attached to, like, Cody as a performer, because he's synonymous with the era that I watched wrestling. when growing up, when I got into wrestling. Cody was one of those first guys that got me to have genuine emotions when watching the show. So I might be a bit biased. However, I think Cody is the perfect person to take this belt off of Roman. I think a world title run in WWE is well overdue for Cody. I think this is your perfect chance, not only because he's someone who is genuinely deserving of being a world champion, but it's also a great way to show the people at the other company that, hey, if you come over, we're not gonna misuse. We're gonna try our best not to misuse you. We'll put it that way, because it's WWE, and at the end of the day, they make a lot of missteps with how they handle some of their wrestlers, especially when they come in from other companies. And again, like I said, if Cody doesn't win here, who does? Unless you have someone from within the bloodline take the belt, which I could see. If you put the belt on Jey Uso, that would be awesome. I don't see that happening. You could put the belt on Solo, but I don't think Solo has reached the point of being a world champion yet. I would love to see Solo hold a couple mid-card belts and work his way up into being that world champion wrestler. Solo will definitely get there one day, but it's insane. Unless you bring someone up from, like, there was talks a while back of maybe Braun Breaker being the one to do it, but I don't think that's a good idea, because people might turn on Braun really quickly. There's not many people on the roster who are as qualified to take the belt right now than Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes right now feels perfect. If Roman wins, Cody might not feel as perfect a couple months from now. They might build another story that gets people more invested than the Cody and Sammy and Kevin versus the Bloodline feud. But for right now, Cody. So let's run down my predictions just as a quick recap. Theory retains. Seth Rollins wins. Damage Control wins. Brock Lesnar wins, I hope. Oh, the Homo sapiens are going to be mad at me. Asuka to win the Raw Women's title. Rhea to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. I just now realized I think the only person I have predicting to defend their belt is Austin Theory, and that's absolutely not happening. Sheamus winning the IC Championship. Demon Finn beating Edge. Ronda and Baszler winning the weird Fatal 4-Way Tag match. Braun and Ricochet winning their Fatal 4-Way Tag match. Kevin and Sammy winning the tag belts. Dominic beating Ray. And Cody Rhodes winning the Uwu. Yeah, now that I think about it, that means out of my predictions, I've only predicted Theory to retain. And that worries me. That makes me feel like Roman's gonna retain, because I don't see either that or Charlotte or Bianca might retain. Bianca might retain. I could see Bianca retaining, but my predictions are locked in. We will do our best to get our reactional videos up as soon as I can. I do work this weekend, so I kind of had to do it in between other things. I got to go to my regular job. So Stand and Deliver, WrestleMania Night 1 and WrestleMania Night 2 might all just go up on Monday. We will see. We'll just see what I can do and when I can do it. But for now, those are my predictions. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Be good people, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.